Hello and welcome. Our solar system is vast, spanning billions of miles from the blazing sun to the distant Kuiper Belt and even farther to the mysterious Oort Cloud, a spherical shadow of icy debris that marks the very edge of the sun's influence. Within this immense space orbit 8 planets, dozens of moons, and countless asteroids and comets, a cosmic system bound together by gravity and by history. It is our celestial home, the only one we know, and the cradle of everything we call life. In this journey, we'll travel from the fiery heart of the solar system to its frozen outer frontiers, where ancient worlds drift in darkness. We'll explore the vast, silent spaces between planets and follow the path of the twin Voyagers, our distant messengers now sailing beyond the frontiers into interstellar space. So, let's begin. Picture yourself leaving Earth. You rise above the clouds, beyond the atmosphere, into the deep, star-filled darkness of space. The pull of home fades, and you drift in a vast, perfect silence. Around you, stars burn with steady light, and before you stretches the grand architecture of our solar system, a celestial order that has shaped not only our planet but the story of life itself. Our journey begins at the source, the golden heart of our celestial family. Before we visit the worlds, we must first pay homage to their creator and sustainer. Let your awareness drift towards the sun. It is not merely a ball of fire, but a living engine of light. From this vantage point, its surface is not a raging inferno, but a shimmering ocean of incandescent plasma, a tapestry woven from threads of liquid gold. Vast cells of convection, each the size of a continent, rise and fall in a slow, majestic rhythm, a simmering pot that has boiled for over 4 billion years. Watch as a delicate prominence, a loop of plasma 100 Earths high, slowly unfurls from the surface like a flower blooming in time-lapse, a silent ballet shaped by magnetic forces. This is not chaos, but harmony, a self-sustaining fusion reactor where hydrogen becomes helium and energy. Light, heat, and motion floods outward into space. Feel its breath, the solar wind, not as a storm, but as a ceaseless, whispering exhalation. A breeze of creation flowing endless outward, carrying particles and magnetic fields that touch every world it meets. The sun is the cosmic forge where elements are born, and its steady pulse sets the rhythm for all the inner planets. A timeless heartbeat at the center of our celestial family. The closest world to that blazing heart is tiny Mercury. But do not mistake proximity for warmth or comfort. It's a world of profound extremes. A small, airless sphere of rock and metal, it looks as though it has been sculpted from silver and charcoal. Its surface pockmarked with the scars of a violent infancy. It traces the tightest, most urgent orbit around the sun, a swift messenger racing through perpetual daylight and shadow. Yet, its motion is a study in paradoxical grace. Mercury spins on its axis 3 times for every 2 orbits around the sun, a rhythm of delicate resonance. Because of this, a single Mercurian day, from one sunrise to the next, lasts 2 of its years. Imagine the scene. The sun, 3 times larger than it appears from Earth, rises painfully slowly over a black, star-flecked sky. It climbs, baking the landscape to temperatures that could melt lead. Then, as Mercury continues its uneven dance through space, the sun appears to pause, drift backward, and then rise again. A double sunrise in a sky without air, where light travels unbroken and unsoftened. Here, morning is a fleeting, complex event. Words of pure mathematics choreographed by gravity itself. There is no atmosphere to carry sound, no wind to erode the craters left by ancient collisions. The silence is absolute, not the quiet of peace, but the stillness of deep time. Mercury is a museum of the solar system's earliest memories, its surface preserving a history written in stone and fire. Next, we come to Venus, the planet of mysteries, forever swaddled in thick, luminous clouds of sulfuric acid that reflect sunlight with a blinding, featureless brilliance. These clouds are not stormy or dark. They form a perpetual swirling veil moving in a slow, hypnotic dance. They hide the surface completely, creating a world of diffused light and immense patience. Beneath this serene canopy lies a planet unlike any other. It spins backward, opposite to nearly all others, and so slowly that a single day lasts longer than its year. There is no sense of urgency here. The clouds drift, the planet turns in defiance of the familiar, and everything moves with heavy, deliberate grace. Yet, this calm exterior conceals a darker truth below. The surface is a furnace of crossing pressure and heat, a grim monument to a runaway greenhouse effect. But Venus was not always so. Once, perhaps, it might have known oceans. Scientists believe it could have begun as Earth's twin, similar in size, composition, and distance from the Sun. Yet, somewhere in its deep past, the balance tipped. The warmth that sustained life on Earth became, on Venus, an inescapable fever. The oceans boiled away, the sky thickened with carbon dioxide, and the planet transformed into a vast mirror of what can happen when equilibrium is lost. From space, we see only the angelic mask, a soft, glowing sphere, its pale clouds swirling almost imperceptibly, a beautiful enigma drifting through the void. But beneath that luminous veil lies a cautionary tale. A vision of a world that might once have been like ours, now locked in eternal stillness beneath the sky of endless fire. And now, let your gaze settle upon the world you know, seen from impossibly far away. Earth, a radiant marble of luminous blue and swirling white, suspended gracefully in the endless velvet of space. The great oceans, which up close can rage with storms and crashing waves, appear from here utterly still and profoundly serene, gleaming like liquid sapphire beneath the soft light of the sun. The continents stretch across the globe in vast shadowed shapes, their edges softened by night's gentle embrace. Every city, every village, every flickering spark of human life is invisible from this cosmic height, folded into the quiet, dreaming land below. Down there, everyone, everywhere, Every person, every whispering tree, every glimmering creature of the sea is resting in their own rhythm of peace. The whole planet seems to breathe together, exhaling a slow collective sigh. This is your home, not a place of chaos or clamor, but a tranquil, liquid sphere of delicate balance, drifting gracefully through the deep silence of space. All of your joys, your fears, your laughter, and your history, all of it is contained within this single fragile jewel. Take a deep, gentle breath and feel the stillness. Feel the pulse of this beautiful, breathing world. You belong to it, and it belongs quietly, eternally to you. Farther out, the pale red dot of Mars drifts through the cosmic ocean. Its color is not the red of fire, but of rust, of ancient iron turned to dust, of time itself made visible. This is a world whose story is written in its soil. The surface is cold and still, blanketed by a fine, ruddy powder that has settled after eons of whispering winds. The great volcanoes, like Olympus Mons, so vast it could swallow the state of Arizona, stand still and extinct, their summits fading into a thin salmon sky. The immense canyons, like the Valles Marineris system, could stretch from coast to coast across the United States, yawn open in an ancient stillness, their depths filled with shadow and memory. At times, the planet stirs, dust storms rising from its surface vast enough to shroud the entire world. But now it rests again, frozen and motionless, a desert of unbroken silence. And yet, once, long ago, rivers traced their paths across this land. Lakes glimmered in the craters. If you listen closely, if you let imagination guide you, you can almost hear the ghost of flowing water, the faint, forgotten rhythm of rain. Mars is not a dead world, it's a dreaming one, an old planet in deep patient sleep, holding within its crimson dust the memory of water and perhaps the quiet promise of life yet to come. Now let yourself drift farther still, leaving behind these small rocky siblings of fire and frost, desert and ocean. The sun's warmth fades, space opens wider, the light softens and cools, and the stars seem sharper, more countless. You are crossing the threshold from the realm of stone into the realm of icy and gaseous giants. Now, let your mind drift beyond the rocky cradle of the inner worlds, past the silent, frozen asteroid belt and into the realm of the giant. Here, the sun is a distant, shrunken jewel, and the light that reaches this space is faint, diffuse, and ethereal. The very nature of matter begins to change. We leave the realm of solid ground and enter the domain of colossal atmospheres. A fluid motion on a scale so vast it defies comprehension. Your awareness is drawn inevitably to the solar system's sovereign Jupiter. It is not merely a planet. It is a proto-system, a sun that never was. Its immense sphere is a living canvas of swirling cream and ochre. of soft tiny browns and pearlescent white. These are not static colors, but the visible crest of continent-sized storms and jet streams of hydrogen and helium moving at speeds that could supersonically circle Earth. Yet, from this distance, their motion is a lazy, hypnotic dance. Its great tempest, each larger than our entire world, resemble spinning galaxies in miniature, their edges feathering into the surrounding clouds in a graceful chaos. And at the heart of this atmospheric ballet turns the great red spot, an anticyclonic marvel that has churned for centuries, perhaps millennia. See its deep brick red hues swirling slowly, so slowly, like a drop of blood in water or a dollop of cream stirred into a cosmic cup of tea. It is not a violent explosion, but a stable meditation in motion, a vortex of immense patience, turning endlessly in a slumber that began long before our ancestors looked to the sky. Around this gentle colossus, a miniature solar system keeps its silent time. Dozens of moons, each a world in its own right, trace their perfect, slow orbital rhythms. Io, a world painted in a sulfurous yellows and volcanic orange, swings close, forever reshaped by tidal fire. Europa, a cracked and gleaming marble of purest white ice, hides beneath its frozen crust a vast shadowed ocean, perhaps alive with secrets. Their motion is a clockwork of celestial harmony, a quiet testament to gravity's unending grace. Let the immense gravity of Jupiter gently push your awareness further out to where the light grows even softer. Here we find Saturn, the undisputed jewel of our solar system. Its presence is one of sublime, perfect geometry. Encircling it are the magnificent white rings, a structure of such breathtaking delicacy it seems almost impossible that it exists on this scale. From afar, they appear as a smooth, unblemished disk of the softest, most luminous gray, casting a faint shadow upon the planet's own pastel cloud tops. Come closer in your mind's eye. See that this smooth disk is an illusion, a beautiful lie. It is, in truth, composed of countless billions of fragments of water ice, some no larger than grains of dust, others the size of mountains. Yet each tiny, glittering shard follows its own perfect prescribed orbit, billions of individual particles moving together in a state of cosmic synchronized harmony. The rings are astonishingly thin, flatter than a sheet of paper relative to their vast span, a balance so precise it borders on the miraculous. There is no friction, no collision, only a silent, perpetual grace. The entire site, the serene, banded globe of the planet encircled by this impossibly delicate halo, is one of the universe's purest expressions of order and stillness. It is beauty without sound, motion without chaos, geometry made divine. Yet even here, perfection is fleeting. The rings, though ancient, are not eternal. They are slowly fading, grain by grain, falling like snow into Saturn's atmosphere, dissolving into the very planet they adorned. In a few 100 million years, they may vanish entirely, leaving Saturn bare once more. To witness them now is to glimpse a moment in cosmic time, a masterpiece caught in mid-evanescence, shimmering in the last light of its long, slow dance. Drifting still farther, the sun now is merely the brightest star, and we meet Uranus, a world of soft, pale cyan, the color of a tranquil, sun-dappled sea. Yet its true nature reveals itself not in color, but in motion. This is the solar system's quiet, eccentric, a celestial oddity that rolls on its side as it circles the sun. Its poles face the solar wind, its equator the darkness. But do not see this as a flaw or a fall. It is a slow, graceful roll, like a great marble of aquamarine glass turning across a boundless dark floor. There is no hurry, no correction. Uranus simply accepts its tilt and rolls and rolls and rolls, 98 degrees of serene defiance, giving rise to seasons of 21-year stillness. It is a lesson in cosmic composure, the art of moving forward while turned slightly aside. Look closer and the world becomes even stranger. Its atmosphere is pale and opaque. Its winds, some of the fastest in the solar system, race silently across the hidden depths beneath. Faint rings encircle it, ghostly and dim, as though drawn in shadow rather than light. Its moons, small and irregular, follow inclined, looping paths, as if they too share in their planet's quiet rebellion against convention. Everything about Uranus whispers of subtlety, understatement, and balance in asymmetry, a planet that defies drama by embodying calm. And at the very edge of the known planetary realm, the final sentinel before the deep black, Neptune follows its long, slow, solitary path. A single orbit here takes 165 Earth years. An entire human lifetime is but a season in its deep glacial rhythm. It's not pale blue, but a profound velvety shade of azure, the color of the deepest ocean trench, the twilight sky's final whisper before night. This hue arises from traces of methane in its atmosphere, absorbing the last red embers of sunlight and reflecting back only this calm, eternal blue. Here, the solar wind is ghostly breath. The background hum of the universe seems nearer, and time itself feels slower. Neptune does not rage or burn. It dreams in silence at the edge of all we know. Yet beneath that tranquil surface lies immense power. Winds here roar faster than any other planet, howling past 1,500 miles per hour, though in this thin air they make no sound. Great dark vortices form and fade, vast tempests that appear without warning and vanish as mysteriously as they came. Neptune is a paradox of quiet violence, a world of storm that rage in silence. It is the universe showing that serenity and intensity can coexist, that calm is not the absence of motion, but its perfect mastery. Take a slow, deep breath and feel the vast distance you have traveled. The light now has texture. It falls like dust, faint and slow. The cold you sense is not the absence of heat, but the presence of infinity. Beyond Neptune, the sun becomes a single bright star, and the solar system dissolves into the star-strewn dark. Drift now into the Kuiper Belt, a scattered ring of icy relics, frozen memories from the dawn of creation. Here move billions of silent fragments, comets, dwarf planets, and shards of primordial frost, circling in a slow, eternal ballet. This is the solar system's afterglow, where time stretches thin and the boundary between home and interstellar space begins to blur. You are standing at the threshold of the unknown, the quiet frontier where our sun's gentle dominion ends and the vastness of the galaxy begins. As we gently leave the familiar sun-warmed orbit of the planet, we pass beyond the serene blue gaze of Neptune and cross a silent, invisible threshold. We are now entering a vast, dark, and profoundly silent frontier, the Kuiper Belt. This is not a mere region of space, it is a great cosmic ring of icy bodies, a flattened halo of frozen memories that encircles our entire solar system, stretching far, far into the encompassing darkness. Imagine a place of such profound stillness that the very concept of sound becomes a forgotten memory. Here, the sun is so distant it has shrunk to a mere point of intense, diamond-like brilliance, the brightest star in a perpetual star-flecked black sky. Its light is cold and analytical, casting sharp, ink-black shadows that never soften. Its warmth is a theoretical concept, a ghost of an idea from a distant realm. Here, in the deep, deep freeze, just a few degrees above absolute zero, orbit millions of frozen remnants, the leftover building blocks of planets that never coalesced. They are the primordial ices, the most ancient and untouched materials from the birth of our sun. Not just water, but water as hard as steel. Methane that fell as snow billions of years ago and has never melted. And ammonia frozen into strange crystalline forms. These are the original ingredients of the outer solar system, preserved in a cosmic deep freeze. The scale of this region is almost impossible to grasp. It is an immense donut-shaped volume of space so vast that the entire inner solar system could be tucked inside it with room to spare. And within this immense volume, the objects are not crowded together as artist illustrations sometimes suggest. They are separated by distances so great that if you stood on one, you would not see your nearest neighbor in the sky. Each world is a lonely island, adrift in an ocean of black, drifting in a slow, silent, and solitary ballet. Yet, despite this isolation, there is a quiet, haunting beauty here, a sense that everything is exactly as it should be. Nothing interrupts the long silence. No wind, no echo, no witness. The stars seem sharper, as though the vacuum itself has become more perfect. Time feels thicker, slower, more deliberate. It is as if you are looking upon the universe in its most primordial form, untouched, unchanged, and utterly at peace. The largest of these distant wanderers are the dwarf planets. Among them, Pluto reigns as the gentle monarch of this frozen realm. See it not as a mere rock, but as a complex world revealed in quiet majesty. Its heart-shaped glacier, Sputnik Planitia, is a vast plain of solid nitrogen, a frozen sea so smooth it acts as a mirror to the starry void. Its mountains are not of stone, but of solid water ice as hard as granite. Their peaks sheathed in frozen methane snow. And its sky is a thin, hazy blue, an ethereal shroud that glows when the distant sun catches suspended particles of nitrogen and methane. Its moon, Charon, hangs massive in its sky, a silent companion in a gravitational embrace so precise that they forever face one another, a binary pair waltzing through the dark. Together, Pluto and Charon form a symbol of companionship in solitude, two worlds bound not by heat or light, but by gravity and patience. Around them drift other icy sentinels, Haumea spinning itself into an elongated shape, Makemake, faint and distant, Eris shining coldly on the far edge of the sunlight reach. Each is a frozen experiment, a variation on a theme first written in solar system's infancy. The more we learn of them, the more they seem like chapters in a vast, ancient story that is still being read. Here, time itself stretches and slows. Their orbits are not the swift, circular path of the inner worlds, but long, slow, elliptical journeys. A single year on one of these distant bodies can last for centuries. There is no rush, there is no hurry. A single rotation, a single day can last for an Earth week. The distant sun tracing a painfully slow arc across the black sky. Everything here moves with the patience of deep time, where geological change is measured in the slow sublimation of ices over millennia, and the primary activity is the gentle, occasional shift of frost from one hemisphere to another with the passing of the seasons, seasons that each last for decades. This entire enormous region is more than just a collection of ice. It is a place of quiet preservation, a library of frozen memories. Each of these icy planetesimals is a time capsule holding a chemical record of the solar system's very first moment, unaltered by heat or planetary pressures. They spin in the endless, soundless night, holding secrets we are only beginning to understand. Let your mind expand to feel this dark, quiet ring. Feel the absolute stillness, a silence so complete it has a physical presence, a weight. Feel the cold that is not hostile but preservative. Feel the slow, patient, and eternal dance of these frozen sentinels, a ballet choreographed by gravity and witnessed only by the stars. Everything here is slow, cold, and profoundly peaceful. Breathe into this expansive quiet and rest in the deep, resonant silence of the solar system's final frontier. And now we journey further still past the frozen library of the Kuiper Belt to the very outermost edge of the sun's influence, to the most distant and ghostly region of all, the Oort Cloud. If the Kuiper Belt is a graceful, flattened ring at the edge of our planetary neighborhood, the Oort Cloud is something entirely different. A vast, spherical shell, a tenuous and invisible bubble that envelopes everything. The sun, the planets, the Kuiper Belt, all of it in a cosmic embrace of an ancient ice. The distances here are so immense they defy not just human travel, but human imagination. This cloud does not merely begin where the Kuiper Belt ends, it begins in a realm of space so remote that the inner solar system has shrunk to a dimensionless bright point. It extends outward for nearly a light year, a distance so vast that the very light from the sun takes weeks to reach its inner fringe and months, even a year, to travel to its theoretical outer boundary. To comprehend this, consider our fastest human-made objects, the Voyager probes, which have traveled for over 4 decades. They would need not centuries but thousands of years just to reach the Oort Cloud's inner edge, and tens of thousands more to pass through it. This is distance measured not in human lifetimes or even in the span of civilizations, but in the slow geological turning of ages, in the lifetime of stars. In this unimaginable spherical vastness, the rules of the inner solar system no longer apply. The icy objects here do not travel in a neat, organized plane like the planets. Instead, they form a thick, diffuse, and spherical shell, a swarm of frozen wanderers drifting above, below, and all around the flat disk of our solar system. They are so far from the sun that they are only loosely tenuously held by its gravity. Here, the gentle, persistent tidal pull of the Milky Way galaxy itself becomes a palpable force, a cosmic hand that can gently nudge these sleeping giants, stirring them from their eons-long slumber. This distant spherical cloud is the true reservoir, the birthplace of the long-period comets. They are the rare, majestic wanderers that sometimes grace our skies, blazing their icy trails. Some have not returned since humans first looked upward in wonder. Others have slept since the age of the dinosaurs. A passing star, a subtle shift in the galactic tide can provide the gentlest of pushes, sending one of these icy nuclei on a fall inward that will last for millions of years. A single orbit for an Oort Cloud comet is a journey of such epic duration that it has witnessed the rise and fall of entire species on Earth, all in the silent dark course of one elliptical loop. But here, at their home, there is no spectacle. There is only the deepest silence and the coldest dark the solar system can provide. The sun is no longer the defining source of light and heat. It is merely one star among thousands in the sky, no brighter than Sirius or Vega. The objects here are not small, rocky worlds, but lonely mountain-sized icebergs adrift at the edge of everything. They are composed of the most volatile ices, frozen nitrogen, carbon monoxide, methane, cloaked in a layer of black primordial carbon dust, absorbing what little starlight touches them. They are time capsules preserving not just the chemistry of our solar system's birth, but potentially the chemical heritage of the interstellar cloud that gave birth to our sun. The Oort Cloud is the final outpost, the last, faintest gesture of the sun's gravitational embrace, a whisper in the void. Beyond its theoretical boundary lies the true interstellar void, the empty, windless space between the stars, where the sun's influence is finally completely overcome by the galaxy at large. And yet, even here, in this realm of theoretical ghosts and unimaginable distances, we are not entirely absent. From this silent frontier, let your mind drift, not to another ancient ice, but to two tiny human-made messengers now sleeping in the dark. These are the Voyager spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Launched over 4 decades ago, they are the most distant human artifacts, having completed a grand tour of the outer planets in the late 20th century. They have now passed through the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's solar wind is halted by the pressure of the interstellar medium. They are, by any definition, in interstellar space. Think of them now. Two silent, golden-hearted pioneers. Their cameras are dark, their main missions long complete, but they continue to drift, powered by the slow, steady decay of their plutonium heart. They carry with them the golden records, gilded copper discs containing sounds and images of Earth, greetings in dozens of languages, the brain waves of a human in love, the music of Bach and Chuck Berry, the crashing of waves. A message in a bottle cast into the cosmic ocean, intended for any finder in the distant future. From your vantage point here in the Oort Cloud, look back toward the distant, shrunken sun. Somewhere in that vast darkness between you and the inner system, far, far closer to you than the Earth is, these two silent voyagers are sailing on. They are not moving with purpose anymore, but with a profound passive patience on trajectories that will not approach another star for tens of thousands of years. They are our ears and eyes in the silence, our gesture of hello into the great quiet unknown. They are a testament to a species on a small blue world who for a brief moment reached out to touch the cosmos and sent its name and its songs into the eternal night. Let yourself rest here for a long, quiet moment. In this place of ultimate quiet, where the silence is so profound it feels like a physical substance, feel the ultimate cold, a deep and preservative freeze that has held its grip since the dawn of time. Feel the ultimate peace, the slow, patient, and nearly motionless dance of a trillion sleeping worlds. A ballet performed for an audience of none in a theater of unimaginable scale. And know that through this peace, our two silent envoys, Voyager 1 and 2, continue their endless, slow drift among the stars. This is the final margin of our home, the outermost edge of our cosmic backyard. Breathe and simply be in this expansive, infinite peace. And beyond even this, beyond the Voyagers, beyond the last faint wisps of the sun's gravity, there lies only possibility. The Oort Cloud slowly fades into the true interstellar medium, where the fabric of our galaxy stretches unbroken in every direction. Here, there are no boundaries, no up or down, no sense of home, only the quiet hum of cosmic background radiation, the faint afterglow of creation itself. In this endless expanse, every atom, every frozen fragment of ice, every drifting machine of human origin is a participant in the same vast continuum. The sun is but one note in a grand galactic symphony, its light destined to fade into the general music of the Milky Way. And yet, from this incomprehensible distance, the story of our small solar system still shimmers faintly, fragile, finite, but deeply beautiful, suspended in eternity. And so, we have completed our grand tour. We have journeyed from the warm, nurturing heart of our sun, a crucible of elemental fire where light itself is born, past the swift, sun-scorched solitude of Mercury and the veiled, patient mystery of Venus, to the tranquil blue marble of Earth, our vibrant and living home, and onward to the rusty, silent deserts of Mars. We ventured further into the realm of giants where Jupiter's swirling storms paint masterpieces on a canvas of gas, and Saturn's rings trace perfect circles of ice and dust, a silent hymn to the gravitational harmony. We witnessed the serene sideways roll of pale cyan Uranus and felt the deep twilight solitude of Neptune's agile gaze. Still, we pressed on through the frozen archives of the Kuiper Belt, where Pluto and its kin guard ancient ices in their slow-motion worlds, and at last, to the outermost whisper, the Oort Cloud, a ghostly sphere of sleeping comets at the very edge of the sun's faintest pole, where the interstellar sea begins. Now, in the quiet of your heart, understand this. The entire solar system, from the sun's blazing heart to the loneliest grain of ice adrift in the Oort Cloud, is not a scattered collection of worlds, but a single living entity. Every atom, every orbit, every particle of dust moves in a shared rhythm, a vast cosmic dance of gravity and light that began more than 4 billion years ago and will continue long after we are gone. You are not outside this dance. You are part of it. The same atoms that once drifted in ancient nebulae now flow in your blood. The same sunlight that warms the planet warms your skin. You are made of the same cosmic story. And now it is time to return. Let yourself begin the slow, gentle drift back. Feel the immensity of space softening around you as you glide past the outermost fragments of the Oort Cloud through the quiet ring of the Kuiper Belt. The distant sun grows brighter, a pinpoint, than a disk. The serene blue of Neptune greets you one last time before fading into darkness. Saturn's rings appear again, delicate as breath, their geometry perfect and unhurried. The vast, bended face of Jupiter turns slowly, its red storm winking farewell. Mars glows faintly, then recedes into memory. And there, ahead of you, growing from a spark into a shining sphere, is that beautiful blue and white world, Earth, your home. Feel the invisible thread of gravity pulling you closer, the gentle call of familiarity. The journey is complete. Out there, in the vast silence, the planets continue their eternal dance, their rings spinning, their comets dreaming. And here, within you, that same cosmic rhythm continues. The heartbeat of a universe made conscious of itself. You are a living, breathing citizen of the cosmos. One bright awareness shining in the darkness as surely as any star. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.